least I can say that I tried.
If you'd like to find out more about Kent By and his upcoming projects, check out his website at www.kentby.com or call him at 410-379-6984. If you're like me, you love to look at photos of glamorous movie stars and famous people in magazines. Reporter Jason Wilson caught up with a local photographer who makes a living capturing celebrities on film.
Celebrity photographer or paparazzi? What's the difference? I mean, both make their living taking pictures of famous people, don't they? Well, for photographer John Mathew Smith, the difference couldn't be more clear.
The only thing I have in common with the quote-unquote paparazzis is that the majority of everything I do is famous people. Other than that, there's no comparison. Because, well, for one thing, the paparazzi are trying to really get these people in compromising positions. And if not compromising positions, pictures that aren't necessarily flattering, with their mouths hanging open and something, just some little thing that they sort of can embarrass them with to some degree. A lot of people, I guess, it's good to clarify, because a lot of people don't realize how this whole thing goes about. You assume that the person that works at Time magazine, when you see all those photos, that the person at Time was the one that took the photos. But only about 20% of those pictures are taken by the people that work at Time. When they need, let's say, a photo of whoever it could be, let's say, oh, I don't know, Goldie Hawn. Let's say you needed a picture of Goldie Hawn. Well, instead of paying somebody actually to send them out on assignment, you would go to the agency. There's lots of agencies, and they represent hundreds of photographers, and they have thousands of pictures. So you're able to see several thousand pictures just of Goldie from all these different photographers from all these different places. And then you just pick the one that you want, and then hopefully they pick the one that you sent in, and then if they pick yours, it's a royalty, and it's a 50% royalty, and the agency also keeps 50%. But it's very cost-effective for everybody but the photographers, because the photographers, we're not actually recompensed for our services unless our photos sell.
John's work has appeared on the television show Extra, as well as such magazines as Parade, George, and U.S. News and World Report.
Well, the photo of Princess Diana, I took it in Washington in 1997 at the Red Cross, and she just gave me that look. I mean, and I knew at the time that if I had been able to capture what I just saw, that I indeed had a great photo. And I sent it up to New York, up to the agency, as I was saying, and the agency, I didn't hear anything for a few months, and then the guy called me up and told me, he said, "You have the cover of U.S. News." And I dropped the phone, and I picked the phone back up, and I said, "The cover of what?" He said, "U.S. News," but I had to rush down with the negative and all, and it ended up being the bestseller.
So what's the secret behind getting such great pictures?
There is a technique. I'll give you a perfect example. Several years ago, Desmond Tutu, I was at the South African Embassy in Washington. I was coming up the steps, and I happened to see Minister Tutu coming down the steps, and he hadn't put his glasses on yet. And I thought, well, he doesn't have his glasses on. I'd love to get a shot of him without his glasses on before he gets a chance to. So he went over, and he started to greet some people. And then I shot right over the shoulder of the people that he was greeting. So it was a friendly, "Hey, how you doing?" like what you do when you meet someone. But I'm catching it, and that's what makes it so candid.
Of the thousands of pictures he's taken over the last decade, choosing a favorite is next to impossible.
The people that I wanted to photograph the most, I've photographed, really. And I've done them very well. Nelson Mandela, Mrs. Parks, Rosa Parks, who I've done many, many times, Mrs. King. I photographed 13 Nobel Peace Prize winners, Mother Teresa, the Dalai Lama. So the people that I really intended to photograph were more political types, and I sort of ran into all the other celebrities kind of along the way. But the ones that mean the most to me were the historical figures, per se. And it was an honor to be able to photograph them, and then hopefully you get that shot that's on that next level. You know, and of course, the truth is that you're going to take 100 pictures, and you're going to get 3 or 4 So, and the best photographer in the world realizes that 95% of all his pictures aren't good. It's a strange irony, but the better you are, the more you realize that most of what you have isn't good.
John lives in Baltimore, but does most of his work in Washington and New York. To see more of his photos, check out his website at celebrity-photos.com. I'm Jason Wilson for CinemaRyland. Back to you, Rebecca.
Welcome back to the studio for some real talk.